Okay, we'll discuss those metal detectors in just a second. I want to go back to gang activity. What you really didn't address exactly what it is you're going to do about the presence of gangs within our school system.
Yeah, the gang activity, at the previous school we had the Hispanic gangs, the Land Kings, and they had the subdivisions from the Coochie Coochies, whatever you call them, 26, et cetera, K Streets. We had the Vice Lords, the Disciples, et cetera, et cetera. What I did over there and I plan to do here is to meet with all students and just tell them what the new expectations, not rules, I like to call them expectations, but the new expectations are of the student body. I will meet with the students at risk. I don't call them gangbangers. I call them students at risk to, in a small group, I'm sure we don't have more than, no, he's not a gangbanger. It's his own rap song about academic progress. But anyway, I am going to meet with the students as I did in the previous school to address them and to say, look, it's your school, but I'm going to run it for you. We're only going to have one gang at Waukegan High School, but that's the Waukegan High School student body. That's it. When we give a diploma, it is not a black diploma, it's not a Latino diploma, it's not a white diploma, it's a nice diploma with a nice purple W there about Waukegan High School. So I will be meeting with the students at risk and let them know, hey, there's a new sheriff in town, I wear the badge and the gun, if you will, and I don't mean the gun, like the rabbit and the gun, I am the authority over there. And, but anyway, that's what I'll be doing. And those again that don't comply, if they're of age, of course they have to be reassigned to other places, alternative schools.
So your answer to our drug activity within the Waukegan school system is to send them to alternate schools, or?
See how you misquoted? I never mentioned drugs, did I? All right, thank you. But anyway, no, you asked about students at risk. The drug, if you ask me about the drugs, no, obviously, you did say. But don't misquote me because I'll be on the radio. But anyway, no, about the drug situation, no, I'll obviously we need to do more of an invasive counseling. Some students might need that clinical approach, referrals and so on. So yeah, it depends on the situation.
We've got quite a few questions on these metal detectors, so let's go there. Since we're having all the children enter in through specific doors, if a child goes to the wrong door, they're redirected, and as a result they're tardy to class, is that absence considered excused or unexcused?
No, it will not be considered as an absence. Obviously, the first few days is going to be not chaotic, but with a little confusion. Picture yourselves as the first which door, as a sophomore, which door do I come in? But the second, third day, you get the hang of it. We're going to have the deans of instruction. They're going to have radios. They're not too happy about that, but I need to know what my deans of instruction are at all times. They'll be helping us also to get the kids in there with security, about 16 people. Administrator, myself, I have to be out there welcoming everybody. So if they're late, no, it's not going to count as a late. However, a week later, I think, you should know which is your main interest.
What is the cost associated with these metal detectors, and who's going to be responsible for manning them?
Yeah, before I tell you about the cost of the metal detectors, I'll tell you that a funeral is about between $6,000 and $10,000. A metal detector, it's roughly about $11,000, $12,000. Also, an X-ray machine might be about around $15,000. We submitted a proposal for Dr. Batiste for his consideration. So in the long run, a metal detector is cheaper than a funeral.
Where did the money come from to pay for the metal detectors?
From beautiful people like you, from the taxpayers. Monies that are allocated also from the state to the district, the superintendent, Dr. Batiste, and also a new officer, Dr. Gonan. It's coming from the central office. Also, monies that we can appropriate from within the school. If we have some monies that can be used towards that to defray that cost, that will happen too.
Okay, got a question here. Are you planning to keep the CSP, the college prep program?
It's a great program. You do not reinvent the wheel. You will click on, you will go on rolling down the hill, whatever. Ms. Gatz is the new coordinator in charge of this program. So yeah, we will continue. We just added the wing unit as an additional program that parents and students have options to go to for better improvements.
The music department at Waukegan High School is competitively ranked 13th in the state. How do you plan on continuing supporting and furthering Waukegan's tradition of musical excellence?
Yeah, I think 13 is a bad luck number. We want to go for 12 this year. Obviously, the monies that, for example, monies that come in from the Coke Fund, we can spend monies for drums, etc., etc. With the Booster Club, we can also help them out with monies made available through central office. Today they were playing, by the way, a great song, Shaft, and a couple of the songs. But anyway, I understand it's a great band, and I really look forward to participating. But I also have a drama background, and I don't mean drama. So I do have that little background. At the previous school we had a beautiful auditorium. They said, Guerra, never have an assembly there because they'll kill themselves. Broken legs, stabs with pencils, whatever. And I took a chance, little by little. 50 people, 100 people. At the end we celebrated Dr. King's birthday. On 5 de mayo, y Viva Mexico, we did it. Viva la raza, nothing more.
We realize that your focus has always been more on athletics and pushing the students in that direction. However, Waukegan has always been more an artistic school system. How do you feel about that as opposed to being more athletic?
I don't know how she got the idea that the athletics is my main intent. I mentioned that academics is number one, but I do emphasize whatever it takes to get the kids into school. So no, I never said that I was mainly athletic, inclined. To be a successful high school, you got to take all programs, from cheerleading to music to drama, art, and programs. So I'll be supporting all those programs that are at the school.
What is your plan for our security officers? How do you plan to correct their unprofessional behavior that has been exhibited by our security officers?
You know, it would not be fair for me to say they've been unprofessional. I think they need to be guided properly. I told you we're moving the security guards to a better location. We're going to have checkpoints after the bell rings and so on. I already met with them, most of them. Most of them are on vacation too. I met with Mr. Rogers. He's been very cooperative. I did make him aware of the issues that we have about some, because I talked to some students about some unprofessionalism and so on. And we want the security guards to be active people, to be involved, not to have favoritism, not to be flies on the walls. That if the bell rang, it means that the hallways got to be cleared up. So we'll be conducting hall sweeps and so on.